Good evening, and thank you for attending this performance of The Music Man. Out of respect for the performers, please turn off all iPods, smartphones, pagers, and other electronic devices. Note that unauthorized photography and videography are strictly prohibited by copyright law and subject to fine other than the archival video being made tonight. Walkways must be kept clear throughout the performance, including those surrounding any overflow seating. Finally, please minimize movement in and out of the hall and use only the rear center doors. Aisles will be used at various points during the show by performers. Thank you for your cooperation. Tonight, the part of Amaryllis will be played by Claire Austin, and the part of Winthrop will be played by Jake Gruba.
Next station stop. You're crazy with the E. Credit's no good for a notion salesman. Board, all aboard!
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Ansville salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else. River City next. Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the pickins and the firkins.
Cash and demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the flypaper.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk? You can talk, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk, bicker, you can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Like the Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people wanna go, wanna get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? Where do you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the Mondrian store, at the present day store, at the present day Mondrian departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? Where do you get it? Where do you talk? Where do you get it? You can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why do you need a biscuit in the trouble? You need a put the crackers in a package, so you need a biscuit in the airtight sanitary package with the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete. Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mailbox, cup plug, on the stove. Changed the approach of a traveling salesman. Made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hogshead, casket, demi-john. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name Hill?
Hill?
Hill!
No!
Just a minute.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory?
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line?
Will the Cracker Barrel being obsolete? Will the you need a biscuit in the airtight sanitary package of the Model T Ford?
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
For a doggone thing, he's just a bang beat, bell ring, big hole, great going, knocking on the rip roaring, every time a bullseye salesman. That's Master Harold Hill.
What's his line?
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass. He's a piccolo, the uniforms do, with the shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe on it.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks perhaps, and here and there a juice heart.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he clucks and he shines. When the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, crossing state line to River City, Iowa. Population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state.
All right. If you're all through, I'll tell you about this fella, Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
I've never seen him in my life, but I do know this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's went to work the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets immediately tarred and feathered and rode out of city limits on a rail. Oh, well, you think that's funny? Well, wait till it happens to you. Some of your hair never grows back.
Well, why should you get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
Well,
And to form them 8 kids into a band, with himself as the leader.
well, what's wrong with that?
He doesn't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. He can't tell the difference between a pipe organ and a bass drum. Why, I'll catch up with that swindling 2-bit thimble rigger. And when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud.
Wow, you're mad, Charlie. Surely you could be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this strip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't try to sell to them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out there.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it. My drawers all day.
And there I was at Madison Hospital, and nobody could have seen me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come.
Your Aunt Bertha's dead.
She wouldn't come anyway.
Welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Even though we may not ever mention it again.
You really ought to give my walk. All I want to be to wind down Lord Washington, racing to you, face clearly. Ought to give my walk a try.
Ah, Mr. Squires? I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you'll accommodate me.
Well, then I think we should talk to the man in charge of hiring rigs. Was late as usual.
Gregory!
Marcellus!
You old son of a gun! What is... But Greg...
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, why'd you let me know you was coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker back when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice comfortable girl. Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So what's the pitch? You're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
Well, Greg, you'll never get anywhere with these stubborn Iowans. They've got a music teacher who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect, that's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. Say, how you gonna start the new pitch?
Same old way. Gotta keep that music teacher off balance, and then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
But River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I need to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember? Now what's new around here? What can I use?
Well, the billiard parlor just put in a new pool table.
They've never had a pool table before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. I'll see you later, Mars. And don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Ah, you're Mr. Dunlop.
Yep.
With either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say, I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense, and a cool head and keen eye. Do you ever take and give an ironclad leaf to yourself from a three-rail billiard shot? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-blank game I see that any boob can take and shove at ball and ain't pocket. And I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depths of day. Renee, I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper hearing him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sat down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy setting on Dan Patch, making blood boil? Well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say, your young men will be frittering. Frittering away their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled to the screen door patch the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with the cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker, should tell young ones, peeking in the pool hall window after school, you got trouble. Folks right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Bevo, trying out Q-bags, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance, the armory, libertine men, and scarlet women, and ragtime. Shameless music that'll drag your son, your daughter, with the arms of a jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble!
Oh, we have trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Got to figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children got trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes out of Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. And so's your old man. Well, if so, my friends, we got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule.
Our children got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 number balls is the devil's tool.
Devil's tool.
Oh yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh, yes, we got trouble here. We got big, big trouble.
With a T. Got a rhyme with P. And that stands for pool. Did you drop your...
No,
Didn't I meet you?
no.
I'll only be in town a short while.
Good.
That's your daughter?
Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in just a minute. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, ma'am. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Of course not. Now don't startle Amaryllis. So do la re ti mi possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't wear my sandals, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
Mama, I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of the River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library is entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I cannot my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be a very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I allow common fashion? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to the blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Paterno, but so you can hope it for yourself and your Irish imagination, your Irish stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, that wasn't the best thing I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I?
May I have a drink, please?
You may.
Winthrop, it's after dark. If that's a way to walk into the house. Hello. That won't do at all. I'll have a kiss for my boy. That lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop. I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I'd especially like it very much if you'd come.
Winthrop? Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No. What?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his list. He's ashamed.
We know all about his list, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it. No, thank you. Amaryllis. Amaryllis! He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because of his list?
It's not only because of his list, dear. That's only part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind. It's just that he doesn't talk very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do to him. I say goodnight to him every night on the Evening Star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Oh, there, dear. Don't cry. You have plenty of time left. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marian. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I play?
May I play my crosshand piece?
May.
But see, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the Evening Star.
I know, dear. For the time being, say goodnight by someone. You can put the right name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Eulalie McKechnishin for leading in the singing. And to J.C. Squires for his fine stereopticon slides. And to Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine piano player, piano. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, fellow River Citizens, to the 4th of July exercises set up here for the indoors at Madison Gymnasium. I count the weather. 4 score and 7 years. The members of the school board will now be presenting a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not be presenting a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement on costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Arundelian Girls, local chapter of the Daughters of Norway, will be presenting a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife will take a leading part.
I shall now count to 20 in the Norwegian tongue.
Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who's a disgrace to our city. 407 years ago, our forefathers. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days of Pompeii, will take place provided that the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park across the creek from the pest house.
Randy, didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Of course it did, Ewart. That's why we're all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time, and you know it.
It wouldn't last long in the banking business being accurate most of the time.
Order! Come!
Oh, number 8's late again tonight.
I make her early.
She's late, all right. She's right on time. What's the matter with your wife?
Will you members of the school board stop bickering in public?
All the world I said.
Never you mind. 407 years
There's a pool table in town.
Will you allow me to carry on with the exercises?
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with the trouble, friends, with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra, 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 da, 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 ra, ra. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Well, a band will do it, my friends. That's right. I said a boys' band. You hear me? I say River City's got to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's going to have her boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's going to be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Tum-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 strong bones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 strong bones caught the rolling sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 breeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper bottom, timpani, and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score.
and strangle Lewis, lay him out for 3.5 solid hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want that man's credentials. Don't grab that hoodlum. He almost blew Mrs. Shin.
Thank you, Professor. Have to make an example of him. Ringleader, you know, what he does, the gang does.
Chili Clyde, get up. You wild kid, ya! Hanging around my oldest girl? His father's one of them day leaders of the town. You wild kid, ya! Taking down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't.
Don't you contradict me!
We used to swap together. Chili Clyde.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you're doing. My little Gracie seen you. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the raiders? Him? I'll talk to you Monday morning about this bandit. Over at City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Men! I want the spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough. He's got his gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Ah, gee, Professor. That's for the little kids.
Oh, I'm not talking about you playing the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Well, I nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well, you're my man. Do you realize nobody has ever invented a music holder for the marching piccolo player? No place to hang the music.
Julie Clyde. I wonder where I can find some white.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, and Tommy.
Yes, Professor.
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady, miss. What's your name?
Samita, I didn't have any idea you was beckoning to me. God!
Do you know Tommy Gilas?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
Only accepted I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. God!
Then escort the young lady home by way of the library, by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
God!
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. You made a few mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor, he owns the billiard park. And the new clothing.
Oh. What was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We need to see your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
They can put up a bond.
What am I hearing? You, sir. Say... ice cream.
Ice cream. I don't think if that's
Talk then. Down low.
ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
You see? Singing is only sustained talking. Now you, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Now you, ice cream.
Ice cream.
And now you, Mr. Squires. Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those men without the other three.
Professor, you're wrong. Those gentlemen have hated each other for the past 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Nor apprehensions confuse me. Puzzle and mystify, mystify. Tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some lovely caramels over at the hotel if you...
Mr. Hill?
Professor Hill.
Professor
Fear of what? And what college do I give it to read for annoying women on the streets like a Saturday night rowdy?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some of the people in this town. And I think it's only fair to warn you I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give you some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory.
Hi, Marcellus. And don't call me Greg.
How'd you become the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you sure cut a swath tonight. For a second, even I thought you knew something about conducting a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band fella back in Jump.
Yeah. Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just you keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? But it only used to take you 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh no, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself out as a music professor, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people want to hear the music. You'll have to lead a band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. And I've got it timed down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Gonna line yourself up for a little canoodling, huh?
Well...
Say, I can fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, innocent, wholesome Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Now listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snark, I hiss. How could ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer, I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots. No sailor ever knew.
I prefer to take a chance on more adult romance.
No dewy youngness who keeps resisting.
All the time she keeps insisting.
No wide-eyed, wholesome innocence free air.
No, sir. Why, she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop!
I flinch,
I shy. When the lass with the delicate air goes by, I smile.
I grin.
When a gal with a touch of sin walks in,
I hope,
I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
I'm Ethel Tattlemeyer, the pianola girl. And this is Mrs. Hicks, Mrs. Squires. And well, of course, you've met you Lady McKechnie, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, you lady?
I could not say. No, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance to... No, wait, do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot, the way you raised it just now.
No. Well, I have a bunion there that follows.
What grace! What natural flow of movement! What expression of line and rhythm!
Mr. Hill!
You must set it accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary for the classic dance. Mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sart. Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
Elaine McKechnie. That is, dancing.
Then you accept?
Yes, indeed, and I would just like to
Thank
say...
you. Now, the young lady who plays piano, Marion Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little tackle, pick a little tackle, cheep, cheep, cheep. Pick a lot, pick a little more, pick a little tackle, pick a little tackle, cheep, cheep, cheep. Pick a lot, pick a little more, pick a little tackle, pick a little tackle, cheep, cheep, cheep. Pick a lot, pick a little more, pick a little tackle, pick a little tackle, cheep, 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 cheep. Professor, her and woman doesn't belong on educated. Pick a lot, pick a little tackle, but she advocates dirty books. Chaucer, Rabelais, Balzac. I feel like she'll be telling you this either. The man lives on my street, let me tell. Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who didn't have a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium, Madison Picnic Park, Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who did you think he was anyways?
Well, I should say. Show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
No, that's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city, and he left all the books to her. She was seen coming and going from his place. Oh, yes. That's when we made brains.
Just a minute here, Professor Hill. We're going to see your credentials.
Oh, of course. I just went over the hotel. Come with me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, Oh, it's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young. Anyone could have made a mistake.
What?
Please, no explanations, no apologies. I'll only be in town a short time, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
Oh, I have.
Well, what would you like to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet! Please!
The librarian. You're not listening, Mary. Marion. Marbles. 6 Aggies, 8 Steelies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big glassing with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop it. Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer host brigade men had to whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I tried in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I can never win, while the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marion. Madam Librarian. in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. While the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin, any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights. Madam Librarian. Marshmallow? Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. You better go home and get some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute! Are you still listening? You haven't got a license.
Why no, Mayor Sheen. I collect doorbells. This particular specimen has an unusual tone.
Flattery will not avail. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
Just miss you, Mr. Sheen, your hand.
What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means that America has at last produced an artist capable of flugeling the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of those horns?
Sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. Just, I could have missed this hole. I don't have any son. Why, you unscrupulous, flew by now, you oblivious. You'll be down to City Hall with your bio papers by 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I can make myself any cleaner if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George. Not that he could ever really be great, you understand.
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Klein, O'Mendez.
But Professor, we are Irish.
No. Well, that clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Peru. Your boy was born to play the cornet. That'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due till the first installment, payable at the opening of band practice. Ah, thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Why, hello, son. Certainly his uniform. And there won't be a penny due till delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Would it have
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Flintmore, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day even to us. And if you get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. I'd much rather pick you for a hot carrying, clay pipe spoken, shamrock wearing, hot playing, Mammoth pigeon, tar soul and stuff singing Irishman. Be gum and be jabbers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it's Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Why is she not?
Oh yes, gold medal class of '05. How do you do, Miss Peru?
how to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night.
You want so much Winthrop in the band?
We're not interested,
Miss
Mama.
Marian, the boy might have his father's musical gift.
Oh, your husband's musical. Well, I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm sure.
It's not everyone's homes like this, prying into personal affairs. We're not interested.
Maddie!
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have
My
something
brother
like this.
is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why our father was taken away from us. He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnal man who sells gold-painted watches or glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Miss Peru, I hardly think... I get the feeling she likes the idea. A little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that nobleman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
One moment, Professor Hill. About the boy's measurements, I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist...
Fine, that's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope you excuse Marion.
Oh, please. I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope that's forever, darling. Don't you ever think about your future? Get the Indiana Conservation class of Oz 5. Now, darling.
Now, Mom, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, women-chasing salesman that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're back there. There you are. Will you please go down to the library and ask Mrs. Grubb for the book I set aside? It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large, brown volume.
Do I have to?
You won't have to say anything to anyone. I've written it all down.
Now what are you up to? What are you doing with books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal will help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't find my Aston, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greiner, who backs me into the ancient history section every time he comes into the library.
He does.
Or Ed Gamage and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. My white knight knows Lancelot, for an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight knows my heart would say, that only knew how pleased dear me not. Show me now. All I want is a plain man. All I want is a modest man, a wise man, a gentle man, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the States of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And occasionally ponder what makes Shakespeare in plays so great. My good love till I die. Skin like a love till I die.
Hey, Zanita.
Tommy, Mama and Papa are sitting right there in the bank. Eat God!
All right, then you leave after supper.
I can't. It's Apple's Week night. Meet you where?
The footbridge.
You see? Isn't that just what I said? Last time the lumberyard and now the footbridge. And where will you meet me after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Eat God!
I just wanted to show you my new invention.
What invention?
It's a music holder for marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws. You see, when you get it tight enough to hold the music steady, you lose circulation and can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Tommy, it's Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes!
Yes, the very first thing I said, or Ollie came with a horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said. Morning of July 4th, 1912. Now look, my wife is off dancing at any and all hours instead of tending to the home. The school is singing up street and down alleys and attending to city matters. My oldest girl is off poodling with some wild kid, and my business has fallen so far off, I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university?
Oh, I know all about that. It's the only thing I can ever get out of it. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
If you just take a little time to read about the conservatory, you won't have
Papa! The Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up the steamboat!
I like this story. This hour of the day? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon?
The band instruments!
The band instruments. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be. And once I got some great food from town. Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut sock. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. A pretty big surprise to see a king.
Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
And I expect a new rocking chair.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
The DA ordered set a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to be. They could be something for someone who is not religion, but it could be. It could be something special, just for me.
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet defense, Professor.
Men, you will each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, keep off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Sister, is this the most scrumptious volleyball thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd ever see anything so scrumptious as this volleyball thing. Oh, sister!
Running one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better use some by-God tuning out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of a grand jury over at the county seat. Miss Mary, about that book.
George,
You watch it phraseology. Get along, you must. I need to get something from this librarian. Thank you.
The ladies' dance to be meets Tuesday nights.
Michael taught us.
All right, what'll it be?
Shaboopy.
Now, one who kissed on the very first date is usually a hussy. And a woman who'll wait till the second time up is anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time round, head in the clouds, feeling the ground. She's the one he's that he's found. She's here, shaboopy, 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 shaboopy.
The girl who's hard to get.
Shaboopy, shaboopy, shaboopy.
But you can't her yet.
Walk her once, just raise the curtain. Walk her on twice, you make for certain. Once more in a flower garden, she'll never get sore. Beg your pardon. Squeeze her once, she isn't looking. Get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for pat rubber, she'll never get sore. Ready to supper. Little towns and go-gals, anyone can see. Look at her now, she's a go-gal, who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking. Get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for pat rubber, she'll never
Do what? Never mind.
Zanita's scared. But I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you. Julie,
I'm gonna warn you once more. If I ever catch you with my daughter ever again, I'll by God horsewhip you till hell won't have again.
But George!
Not one poop out of you, madam.
You think he means pimp?
Yes! Now get out of this public building.
I've got just as much right in this public building as anybody.
Right? How do you have any right? Aiding and abetting in the swindling activities of that spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out, you wild kid.
Papa, please! It's caveats like you make blood in the marketplace. You guys!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Now go home. You leaving?
Yes.
10 years take.
My dad.
I'll handle Zanita taking with wild kids from the wrong side.
I can just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now, and I haven't found a thing.
Mayor Shane, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off of my oldest girl. Yes.
All right. But in the meantime, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in this town. You'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs that they'll receive from tripping over their beards. And I'll tell you something else, my fine and feathered. My feathered young fine. Never mind. Oh, Jason, you're older. I want this man's references and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers and get him to jail. I can make myself any clearer if there's a button hooked in the well wire.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shane behaved abominably, and I think it was awful good of you to come to that boy's aid.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
No, a man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500? Unfortunately, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of his billiard call. I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself might help, but I couldn't ask you to do a thing like that.
Oh, why, Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to speak to you about Vic Brooks' cornet.
His cornet, mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches the cornet. The first week or so, he made a few experimental blats, I guess you would say?
Yes, blats.
And he sings the minuet and dee-da almost constantly.
La-dee-da-dee-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you see-
He said that you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well-
He said you thought of some think system. If he thinks the minuet and G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor
Now, Miss
Hill.
Marion, the think system is a revolutionary new method, I'll admit. But so is Galileo's conception of the heavens, or Columbus's conception of the egg, globe, or Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things in public, but if you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pick a little taco, pick a little taco, tick, tick, tick. Pick a little more, pick a little taco. Please join our day start committee. Pick a little taco, pick a little taco, tick, tick, tick. Pick a little more, pick a little. You dance like toot, 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 toot. Oh, there! Pick a little taco, tick, tick, tick. Get a little tick in your hair and so cheer up to sleep. We know that you will see the full beginning. I took you so here. Working with our Fairy princess, looking for golden shimmer, silver shoes, now of gold, heart of gold. Here, where women's hearts should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply threw them all. Chaucer, Rabelais, Balzac.
We've got our orders.
We've been deputized.
Yes, congratulations. You know, all week I've been trying to get you fellows my references and credentials, but every time you seem to get off the subject somehow. I have just what you want over at the hotel. Take me a second.
Sorry, afraid I'll have to go with you.
Yes. Well, let's see if I have my key. Oh, what's this? Ah, a testimonial from Madarini, the only female bassoon player to ever play on the Red Path circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lyda Rose Quackenbush.
Can we see that?
Oh, you'll never forget the name. Lyda Rose. Same as the old song. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion. How about the question? Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lyda Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lyda Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose.
Dream of now, dream of then, dream of a love that might have been. I love you, oh yes, I love you, and I'll bravely tell you, but only when we dream again. Sweet and low, sweet and low, how sweet that memory, how long ago, forever, oh yes, forever, will I ever tell you,
Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in my sky. Lyda Rose, I love you,
might have been. I love you,
dong
oh
ding,
yes, I love you,
hear the chapel bell
and
chime.
I'll bravely tell you, but
At
only
the
when
least suggestion, how about the question? Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name.
how
Lyda
sweet
Rose,
that
now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine.
will I ever tell
Lyda Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose.
Will you ever stop arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Ah, yes, I know. Ah, fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama,
Now, nothing. If he ever comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you haven't got the gumption to tell him how you feel,
tell him.
well, there's nothing wrong with a ladylike hint.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing?
Fishing?
With Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
I'm
Mama. I'll do them.
Don't you have to get ready for the sociable?
There's time later.
Ah, the Shins live around here somewhere.
The Shins live on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Yeah, criminy. I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fella Hill forming a boys' band.
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. That swindling two-bit thimble rigger. And that's why I gotta see Shin. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. I sure wish it was 20. Sure I'd like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
The name's Charlie Cowell, Anvil salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from that swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? My old lady's corset cover. That fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth for just long enough. He's spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not going to spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see through him? He's no more professor than
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professors. It's a harmless deception, really. He's a fine director and his
Now wait just a minute. Fine director? Have you heard one note of music from any band?
Well, no, but that doesn't
But
mean...
nothing, girly girl. That fella's never formed a band in his life. And he never will.
If you just listen for a moment...
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that if I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train to leave this dynamite with someone on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you on the next time through.
You'll never catch a train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossings.
No, sir, I gotta leave word. I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, I just mean I don't know you yet.
Yes, I need more
As
time.
much
anyway.
as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils. That's something different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? If I lose that train, I'll lose my job. And I gotta leave word about that fella Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you'll deliver these letters?
Try me. No, go catch your train at the crossings.
Why are you double-dealing? Who do you think you're protecting? That fella's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taken away from every one of them. And that's 102 counties, not including the piano teachers like you he cozies up to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you has heard the last of me, girly girl.
Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Good evening, Miss Marion. Light a rose,
Marion?
again, rose to get
Marion? Marion, dear, who was you talking to just... Why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, the top of the evening. Miss Marion?
You and Marion come up and said, I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well, I don't...
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything by
Now,
it.
Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting your invitation inferred anything other than academic enlightenment. The Think System? I've been over to your house a time or two to try to explain it, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the other ladies.
I'm glad. Wouldn't want anyone beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, it's evidently not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100... What I'm trying to say...
Yes?
Is it true you've really developed the Think System?
A what? Oh, Think System. Yes, it's really very simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You simply think the tune and have it come out clearly here. Now try this yourself before you ask any questions.
I'll take your word for it.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you mean dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated with the think system as I?
some more, some less. One young lady had thought up a similar system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Oh, please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. I'm sure you have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
And I must be very welcoming for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
Well, one hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison? My father's best friend. No matter what anyone says, he left me in a sure job so Mother and Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you didn't believe
No, of course not. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Now, why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness and jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally, just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Well, just that of course it stands to reason that narrow-mindedness and jealousy can lead to, well, I mean, take you for instance, your attention to customers and well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, now honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
Well, so you say if a salesman or someone were jealous, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves that you should never believe everything you hear. I mean, if you just discuss.
Miss Marion, I'd be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
We can sit on the porch steps.
We could also sit on a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I have to get ready for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I can't. Please, some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, my dear little librarian. Pile up enough tomorrows and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
What?
I just promised Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes!
Oh, glory be in the saints be praised, it works!
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor!
Have arrived. The kids are already in them. If they show up at the sociable, they'll be screaming for music.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's trying to hold the kids together at least, pretending to hold a band rehearsal over at the lumber yard.
All right, Marsh, get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap?
Relax, Marsh. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion! You're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
I meant that you were about, well, I'd say about 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it almost took longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marion, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything.
No, you've given me something. That's why I came.
I don't recall giving.
Oh yes, you have. Something beautiful. And I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid I'll expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there'll be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you've left behind. For me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me it's sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was
Marion, there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Hey, Greg!
Excuse me. I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Looks like she's selling it. You're buying.
Are you nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave today. Besides, I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
Well, she's so far off balance, you can't tell her from a cat boat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown, I've gone up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
But you can't get him right out here in the footbridge.
There's a place over at Madison Park that makes this footbridge look like the old ladies' home. Now beat it, go get the rig. Never a dull moment in the music business. Now where were we?
You were just about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to go into that right now, do we?
No, or ever for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt like doing much research lately, though she did plenty when you first came.
About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of '05. Harold, there was no gold medal class of '05.
Why, there's
Because
certainly...
the town wasn't even built till '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time.
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal, and I originally intended to use it against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, then why didn't you... Why, you little... While 110 cornets played the air, Then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I oom-pawed up and down the square.
Good night, my someone, good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining, it's bright as light.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
110 cornets blazed away.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone, good night.
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going all over town spilling everything.
Y'all say I'm crazy? Missed my train? Probably lost my job? Oh, but I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay. You'd be in the clink right now if it hadn't been for that piano teacher. I told her all about you. And what'd she do? Lollygags me around till I could get the shin. That little man-hungry doxy.
Get out of here before I kill you, you dirty mouth.
You bully! You big blow-up! Why, I'll stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways! Why, you never knew the territory!
Here's your stuff, Greg. The rig's in the alley. Come on. Hurry.
Stop! Listen to this, man!
You gullible green-grass goats! Can't you get it through to your head that you're being swindled out of your eye teeth right now? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling around in the parlor! I'm talking about Harold Hill, highwayman, road agent, pickpocket! Same thing! He's had his hand in your wallet, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he's been in this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll have any time to read. There isn't a band, there never has been a band, and there never will be a band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for? I want my money back. Money back? I want this high.
After that spellbinder, when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. After him!
Marion, where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
Harold, it's Winthrop. He's run away. Oh, please no, Harold. They're even talking tar and feathers.
I had to see you, Marion.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word. Not a single word.
He's running anyway. Let's check out by the creek.
Winthrop!
Now just a minute here, son.
No, I'm not your son.
After I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You would tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
Would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
You dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go!
What's the
matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you are, and you're going to stand there and get it all, so you might as well stop squirming. Now, there are two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd stop moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, actually, the other thing's none of your business now that I think about it.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe every word he's ever said.
But he promised.
I know what he promised. It was there just like he said. The lights, the colors, the flags, and the symbols too.
Where was all that?
The way every kid in this town walked, looked, and acted all summer long. Especially you. And the parents too. Do you think Mama wishes he never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now, Harold, please go.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I've got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Great! They're here! That way!
Go on, Professor! That way!
Which is why I've interrupted this program at this point. Rest assured that the snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this point. Yes, and always remember, fellow River citizens, that I have done everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. 407 years. He's slippery. I told you he's slippery. 407 years ago. Aha! Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I heard, who are collecting feathers and melting tar, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our Iowa stubbornness, chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill came. Do you remember? Well, do you? And if so, I think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's any in this room who does not believe that this man should be tarred and feathered, let them stand now. Do you leave? Sit down. And the rest of you, standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Do you not recall how you paid large sums of money for uniforms, for technical instruction books, for high-priced band instruments? Do you not recall the promise and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Now think, men. Think.